Like most California voters, this week I received my mail-in ballot in the mail. There's been a few questions about how to ensure you get your vote counted when filling out one of these mail-in ballots. So I'm going to go through every step you need to do to ensure that your vote gets counted. So when filling out your ballot, you're going to need a couple things. First is your ballot itself, and you will need a pen to fill it out. So to start with, what we're going to do is simply open the envelope that your ballot came in. Here we have an official ballot. And this is actually a pretty short ballot as far as California ballots go. One page of people that we're voting for, and then all of the propositions here on the back. And they go on to the next page. Also in the envelope is this return envelope that you are going to put your ballot in once it is completed. Here in Orange County, there is no postage necessary. In your county, double check that it says no postage necessary. Let's go through and fill in our who we are voting for this year. So when we're filling these in, we need to make sure that we fill in the entire box. And these are read by an optical scanner. They are not normally read by people. So you want to make sure that the optical scanner records your ballot. So make sure the entire box is filled in. And do not fill in more than one box unless at the top it says vote for 3 or something like that. But under all of these, for me, it just says vote for 1. And in a place where it says vote for 3, you don't have to actually vote for 3. You can only vote for 1 if you wish. That is still a valid vote. And if you only vote for a couple offices, if you only want to vote for president and don't know anybody else, you can just vote for president and leave everything else blank. Your vote for president will still be counted. Now that all of my ballot has been filled out, simply fold it up, place it in this return envelope. Remove the adhesive on the back. They have a place for you to sign it. You have to sign it here. You might not remember what signature you used when you registered to vote, but one you do know is the one that the DMV has. So pull out your driver's license, and right here at the bottom, it has your signature. You can use that signature to sign your ballot. There's real concern that people's votes will be thrown out, and I have spent weeks and weeks of my life in the Registrar of Voters office watching them count people's mail-in ballot. I can tell you with absolute certainty that the people working at the Registrar of Voters office are civil servants who want your vote to be counted if it is a valid vote. And they want to make sure that if it is not a valid vote, it is not counted at all. If you forget to sign it, the Registrar of Voters will send you a letter and say, we got your ballot, it's missing its signature, sign this form, send it back to us, and we will count your vote. There are multiple safeguards in place to ensure that your vote gets counted when it is turned in via mail. Don't be afraid about voting by mail. Make sure you sign your ballot though. And then print and put your address all the way here at the bottom. Now, let's say you are not able to return your ballot. You just can't get to the post office or to the post box, or my preferred way of returning this in one of the drop boxes that are throughout your county. Somebody else can turn this in for you. But if they do, you have to fill out this top part. You have to say who the person is that you are giving your ballot to, their signature, and their relationship to you. They don't have to actually be related to you. You can give this to a campaign worker. Let's say a campaign is sending people door to door to convince you to vote for their candidate. You can give your ballot to them in the sealed envelope. They cannot seal it for you. They cannot be on the property when you are filling out your ballot, but you can give them the sealed envelope and they can sign it, and the relationship to you will just be campaign worker. So it doesn't need to be your mother or your son or anybody else actually related to you. It can be your neighbor, it can be your gardener, it can be anybody who you trust to turn this in for you. Now, I said that my favorite way of turning this in is to go down and drop it in one of the drop boxes. In this booklet that the Registrar of Voters sent out, this is the Orange County one, there is a long list of drop boxes, multiple pages in very small font of places where you can drop off your ballot. And we're gonna go do that now. All right, so here we are pulling up to the East Anaheim Community Center where there's one of these drop boxes. And we're just gonna go drop off my ballot in the drop box. That's all it takes to get your ballot counted and into this big drop box. Just pop it in there and it will get counted. Now that you've dropped off your ballot, you can do two final things. First is to put on your I voted sticker that came with your ballot in the mail. You can wear this for the rest of the month until Election Day to let people know that you voted. Second is to go to this address down here at the Secretary of State's website and confirm that your ballot got delivered, and after Election Day that your ballot counted. If there are any problems, it will be listed here on the Secretary of State's website, and you can try to correct those problems to ensure that your vote counts this year. Thank you for participating in our democracy, and happy Election Day 2020.